So I am in the studio now. It's an honor for me to be in the studio with Chris Stringer. Christopher, you go by Chris.
Yes, sir.
Our BMET of the year. We were just on the stage together, and you just received that award in front of the entire Amy community. And so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's a very, very big honor. I guess someone at VA knew of you and knew of the incredible work you're doing and nominated you, and here you are. So tell folks what you do and where you do it.
So currently I manage a biomed shop, and I do that for the VA in Walla Walla, Washington. It's the southeast corner of Washington State.
Beautiful area.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is, definitely.
Yeah.
Been doing that for about almost 2.5 years now with the VA, but been doing biomed in general for 23 years. So.
23 years, okay. So, that's not too long a run to get to the BMET of the year. That's a pretty quick ramp up, actually, to that award. So how did you get involved in the profession? Tell us a little bit about how you came to be a BMET.
Well, interesting story is I grew up in North Pole, Alaska, outside of Fairbanks. And
okay, so wait a minute, I have to stop. So it was a town named
North Pole. It was a town named North Pole.
So I was backstage when your video was running, you were being introduced, and I thought it said you were from the North Pole.
Yeah,
I was like, come on.
I didn't know what to say at that point, but yes,
you're from North Pole, not
Alaska,
the North Pole.
Yeah,
okay,
not the
I'm
North
sorry,
Pole.
That's not important at all. But now I understand. So okay, so you born and grew up there.
Yes, sir. Yes, yep. So when I graduated high school, I already knew I was going to enlist in the military.
Okay.
I come from a family of people that have served. Both my parents had served. My grandparents had served.
Wow,
so
thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
And I also didn't want to go to college right away. So I thought, I want to get out of Alaska a little bit, see the world. And I went and took my ASVAB and got my scores and went and talked to the recruiter. And one of the jobs they offered me was biomedical equipment technology.
Which means your ASVAB scores were at the top.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a prime place to end up, and I know we visit MET-C, which is now the Medical Education Training Command down at Fort Sam Houston, and they get the pick of the crop of folks coming in that are enlisting. So
definitely.
Still the case that's kind of the top of this. So all right, so you got your start there.
Yep.
And went in, and was which branch was it again?
I was in the Air Force.
In the Air Force. Okay, so you did your training, and then what?
Yes, sir. And we were at that point, we were a tri-service school, so we were all trained in Wichita Falls or Shepherd up in Wichita Falls, Texas. And,
okay. Yep.
Graduated school, and right before I graduated, 9/11 happened. And so that kind of changed the trajectory of what I expected I was going to do for the next few years. I kind of focused more on field hospitals, deployable equipment, and ended up doing that pretty much for the rest of my time in the Air Force.
Oh, wow. And how long was that? How long were you in the Air Force?
Just shy of 11 years.
Okay. And then you came out and went to what?
Moved to Houston and got a job working with Memorial Hermann.
Okay. Yeah.
I started at one of their community
facility.
hospitals. Yes, sir. Yep.
Fantastic hospital, yeah.
And then I started at one of their community hospitals and then moved pretty quickly up to the medical center.
Okay.
And even to this day, it's still the biggest facility I've ever seen. It's 4 different
We don't
complexes.
do things small in Texas.
No, they don't.
That's a Houston thing, the Houston Medical Center.
Exactly.
Maybe the biggest in the world, if not among the biggest.
I think so, yeah.
Sure. I think it might have the most beds in the world. So, all right, so you and so that was, you're in Houston, and are you still there?
No, so I think around the pandemic, I kind of decided it was time for a change. So
okay.
Applied and got hired on at the VA, and the family was ready to move too. So we all moved to Walla Walla, Washington, or Tri-Cities. Yeah, and that's where
closer,
we're at today.
More toward in that direction.
Yes, sir. Yeah. For me, it was a perfect. Compromise because my wife is born and bred Texan. I'm Alaskan, born and bred. So.
Okay, so somewhere in the middle then.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Talk about two extremes: North Pole, Alaska, and Houston, Texas. That's a big change. So what have you enjoyed most about your career as a BMET? What's kept you in it? What's kept you going?
I mean, honestly, it's the people you work with. The one thing, and of course, I haven't been in several other career fields, but I've gotten to work with several other career fields, and there's just no career field quite like biomed.
Yeah.
Every place you go, you know that everybody that you're there with, you've all been trained the same. You can rely on each other just from day one, right out of the gate. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And the camaraderie and the friendships that you develop never die. I mean, I'm running into people here. This is my first conference I'm able to attend in person.
Oh, fantastic!
And I'm running into people that I've worked with 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And, of course, a bunch of people I've worked with more recently, but
Yeah.
It
is a small community.
It is.
I mean, it's not really small, but it feels small.
Yes, sir. Yep.
There's definitely those long-term relationships that get built and go on. So what would your advice be for a young BMET that might be thinking, I mean, obviously, enlist and go to really knock your scores out of the park and get down to Met C and get in that way. But what other advice would you give to a young BMET or someone considering becoming a BMET?
Well, I give the same advice I've been trying to use on my kids that I've been trying to recruit into the biomed field. Is that
and that's incredibly, and it's a testament to the field. The number of father-son, father-daughter, mother-daughter, mother-son. The number of multi-generational families that do this. It tells you what a great field it is.
Yes, sir.
Parents are telling their kids to go into the field. So anyway, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Oh, no worries. I tell them the same thing that I always tell them, that it's a very unique job. It's a job that you can learn something new every day. And that's the one thing that still holds true even after 23 years, is I still learn something new every day, and I always love that feeling when I learn something new.
Yeah.
And so that would be probably my biggest selling point about this career field, is that you'll never stop learning.
Right.
This career field continues to evolve. You'll continue to evolve with it. It keeps you from getting stale, or it keeps people from getting bored. There's always something new to work on.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, and then great advice. So first year at Exchange, be the BMET of the year. How can you beat that?
I know. That's
pretty
true.
good. I don't think most people are going to fulfill that particular outcome. So, but listen, thanks again, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to learn a little bit about your story, and I know you're going to be an inspiration to lots of young people that are wanting to go into this field. So, thank you,
That's
and
what I'm
thank you
hoping.
for your service and your family
Thank
as
you.
well. So.